We are checking out Scary
Scary
Story.
stories.
Yep. So scary.
I want to suck your dick. I mean, suck your blood. Put in the meme. You know the meme.
What meme? I don't know what Dracula you're watching, to be honest.
Oh.
I agreed to check in on my friend's cat during her holidays, but what I encountered made me flee in fear after just 5 days. Ooh.
Oh.
My friend and I have known each other since high school. We ended up going to the same college. We moved to the same neighborhood and started working at the same place. It was all coincidental, but it allowed us to be close friends, even though we had nothing in common but life and coincidences. At one point, about 4 years ago, she changed jobs. First, we had regular lunches, but then I also moved out of the neighborhood and into the house in the suburbs. So without daily interactions at work, without living close to each other, we drifted apart. For a few years, we only talked on birthdays and major holidays, wishing each well, updating each other on random life events, etc. This year, for my birthday, she wrote me and told me she's buying a house again. Coincidentally, it was very close to where I'd moved. About 10-minute drive, she invited me to her new house and then messaged me after thanking me for coming. A few days later, she messaged me again, and soon after, we started getting back in touch.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
What do you mean? Nothing bad has happened there. It's
Bruh, you
completely
don't.
normal.
No, you don't. It's kind of sus from the girl. Like intuition is kicking in.
Alright, whatever.
And
You can read the next.
why are you picking this up? You motherfucker. As this was happening in mid-June, and with summer just around the corner, we didn't have time to see each other again before I went on holiday. But we were texting each other daily almost. She told me she got a cat and sent me pictures. It was a gorgeous little rescue. She was black all over. Oh, hey, my G, my except for a pause. It looked like she was wearing shoes. From the pictures and videos, Boots was loving, cuddly, and sweet. So when I came back from holiday, I didn't think twice before I agreed to stop by my friend's house every evening and look after the cat. While she went on holiday for a week too, I even proposed to take her over at my place, but since I had a dog and my friend didn't know how Boots would react, we agreed that I'd just drop by every night for a few hours, as my schedule allowed it. As her flight was departing before mine would have landed, we didn't manage to meet and she couldn't give me her house keys, so she gave me the code to her garage. I could very easily enter like that, and the job was simple enough. Check the cat, had sufficient dry food available, feed her a little satchel of wet food every evening, change her water, and clean her litter. I was also to spend an hour or so just cuddling or playing with her. Simple and adorable, right? Oh, this word takes a turn.
He goes on to say, wrong. The first night went smoothly enough. I got there around 8:30, around Boots' dinner time. She ate her wet food really well and we played for a while. What's her favorite toy, Boots? I asked her jokingly. She looked me in the eyes, ran into the bedroom, and came back with an orange plastic mouse.
Bruh. I'm out of there.
Yeah, at that point the cat's going in the bin, to be honest. I assume my friend was talking to her all the time and the phrase favorite toy in relation to that specific mouse had come by a few times. The cat was associating. I replaced the water and the dry food, cleaned the litter box, and then laid down on the couch to read a little. Boots came over and started making biscuits on the blanket, which I used as a cover. I took some pictures and sent them to my friend, who was pleased with the service. Boots loving all the attention, ear scratches, and sweet talks. Laid on my stomach and started purring fast asleep. Oof, Boots, what's this smell? I said, trying to dissipate the odor with my hand. What a farty butthole you have, miss. Very unbecoming for a lady, I argued. The cat meowed at me and if to excuse herself or protest, then got off the couch. Oh, come on, Bootsy, I didn't mean it, I argued back. I put my book down and checked the time. It was well past 11 p.m. Pretty late, I thought. I packed my things, messaged my friend I was on my way, made sure the garage door was closed properly, and off I went. The next night, things went just as smoothly with a very similar routine. Little food, little play, some chilling on the couch. Boots again came to lie down on my chest. And again, that awful smell.
Okay, then bro, I'm really interested in this. What the fuck is going on? Then I proceeded to do the regular stuff. Change the water, top of her dry food, and then went to lounge on the couch. This time, Boots didn't join me. Instead, she stood across the room from me and just stared. Bro, a black cat staring at you? That's not good. Full on black.
That's kind of racist. I feel like being a bit racist to a cat right now.
For the whole time I was there, she just stared. Her piercing green eyes never blinked. I felt the need to end my evening short, so at 5 minutes after 10, I did Boots. What is this? Adieu? Adieu?
I have no idea.
Adieu.
The whole way home, I kept thinking of the eerie feeling of Boots and me sitting in the darkness, her staring at me down and me trying and failing to read. I wanted to check with my friend, but I didn't know how to put in words. Your cat is so creepy, and these things just sounded like a terrible thing to say to a pet owner. The next night I got to the house, the place was completely dark, even though I always left a light in the staircase leading from the garage to upstairs, as well as the hallway light upstairs on. Oh. My first thought was that the fuse box tripped, but when I flipped the light switch, it works just fine. Strange, I thought. Not minding it too much, I went upstairs and tended to the cat's business. I also opened the windows as the sulfur smell persisted. This time, Boots did not greet me at the door. Instead, she was on the opposite side of the house, the bottom stairs that led to the attic.
Okay, let's do a bit of theories. What do you think's gonna happen?
I think there's something hidden in the house.
It's either what you said. There's something hidden in the house, and the cat's trying to like warn him, and the cat's gonna be dead.
Yeah.
I think the cat's gonna be dead.
The cat is a witch. A witch.
That would be kind of weird. Bootsy did not call at her. She just stared back. Boots, come here. I tried again, walking towards her. As I started approaching her, Boots made her way up towards the attic. I didn't feel the need to follow her. Alright, you know where your food is. You'll find me on the couch, I yelled from the bottom of the stairs. The house felt unnaturally cold. I went to check the thermostat, and sure enough, it dropped a few degrees. I texted a friend who just told me not to worry about it. I shrugged and went to the bedroom and took the thicker blanket of the duvet for myself in her wardrobe. As I was snooping around, I heard something right above me. My heart stopped. It sounded like tiny footsteps. Then I remembered it was probably in the attic, and that's Boots walking around, maybe chasing a rat or two. I know cats are supposed to be fantastic at being quiet and light on their feet, but Boots was a bit on the heavy side, and well, cats these days don't have the same instincts as before. After finding a proper duvet, I made myself a hot tea and cuddled with a book on the couch. About 20 minutes later, Boots came back downstairs, moving around the couch. Come on, silly goose, I'm sorry I called you a stinky poo, I said at her. As if on command, she jumped up and I noticed something in her mouth. What's that, Bootsy? I asked her, trying to get closer to her. What do you have there? Now I know you all cat owners anticipated what's coming next, but I did not expect it. Boots came slowly closer. As I stretched out my hand, she placed a dead rat in it. I couldn't tell what it was at the first, but instant realization hit me. I yelped at her so loudly and shuddered so violently that I yeeted the rat all the way across the room. Hey yo, poor Ratatouille, what the hell? Why would you do that to Ratatouille? Lo and behold, the little shit wasn't dead. She just stunned. The moment it hit the floor, it snapped awake and bolted. Boots followed its tracks, but at the same time the rat was too fast and the cat couldn't quite catch it. It seemed like there was a rat hole in the kitchen somewhere, and it managed to make its great escape, at least for now. I texted my friend the whole incident, suggesting that we might look for the hole and cover it up again. She replied telling me to simply not worry about it. Well, if she was concerned, I sure wouldn't be.
In the meantime, Boots proceeded to eat her wet food, and I went back to my book. After dinner, she came to the couch and cuddled at my feet. The sulfur smell did not seem to leave her. 3 more days and mommy's home. I told her, feeling bad for how stressful this must be for her to make her so gassy. She turned around and looked at me with her piercing green eyes, and just then I heard some of footsteps above us. Boots got startled and her pupils dilated to the point the green in her eyes was mere thin outline.
Freaking rats, I told myself, but I knew better. Those were too heavy to be rat footsteps. I felt a strong urge to get out, and I checked the time. "Oh, it's almost 12, Bootsy, I must leave you," I said to her, grabbing my things in a rush. As I was walking towards the stairs that led to the garage, I could hear stomping, tracing my steps from above. So I rushed for the door, feeling immensely relieved once outside. The next night, I contemplated whether I should be going or not for a long time, but I couldn't not go. It didn't seem fair neither to the cat nor my friend whom I'd promised, so I decided to reach a compromise with myself. Go feed the cat, clean the litter, replace the water, and leave. Then on Saturday, I could afford to go during the daytime, and maybe it would feel less eerie, and I could play with her for longer to make up for this day. So I did exactly that, or attempted to at least. I got there, Boots was waiting for me, like a few nights. "Hi, baby girl," I said, as she rubbed herself against my legs and purred. "I'm sorry, but this will be a short visit." This time the footsteps started very early into my visit. "Get in, feed the cat, get out," I told myself. Stomp, stomp, stomp. I could hear above me as I was preparing Boots' dinner. My fingers were shaking, and I could feel my pulse increasing. Stomp, stomp. "Here you go," I said, placing the food bowl down and trying my hardest to ignore whatever was going on in the attic. I went to the bathroom to clear the litter, and the footsteps followed me. Stomp, stomp. I went back to the kitchen to check if Boots had finished her food and to replace her water, but this time the footprints didn't follow. Instead, they seemed to be going in the opposite direction, towards the stairs. This couldn't be good. My brain was trying to get me to move towards the stairs that lead to the garage, but my gut feeling was telling me to look for the salt. Stomp, stomp. I could hear still further in the distance. I started opening cupboards and searching frantically for anything. Plain salt, salt and pepper shaker, bag of salt, anything. I found a Himalayan salt. Why is she looking for salt?
I think I don't know, to stop the whatever. She's thinking it's a spirit now.
What is salt meant to, like, what, season their food? I don't understand.
Make him zesty.
Make them zesty? Yeah. Alright. And started grinding it on the counter. God, I hoped it would be good enough. The stomping stopped. I too stopped grinding and held my breath so I wouldn't be disturbed. The stillness and soundlessness that fell upon the house creak, creak. I shuddered. The steps were coming down the stairs. I had no doubt about it. I dragged whatever salt I could grind in my palm and made a run for the stairs, keeping my eyes closed at all times. As I reached the door and fumbled to find the doorknob in between the squints, I noticed that the light started flickering vigorously. The footsteps were now making their way down the hallway behind me. I started praying and throwing salt over my shoulder. I realized that I didn't know the words to Our Father in English and started crying as I fumbled to remember. Then I started praying in Latin. I knew a little Latin since high school, and surprisingly enough, it came naturally to me. Stomp. I could hear them picking up the pace, running at me. Stomp, stomp. Then they stopped, right behind me. I could feel cold breath down my neck. I could hear faint whispering that I couldn't understand, and a witch's cackle in the distance. I yelled, finishing my prayer and throwing all the salt I had left behind me. The whispering stopped. The footsteps stopped. The laughter stopped. The house reverted to its natural state of quietness. Every now and then I could hear a car driving by. I could see headlights gently lighting up the room. I was certain whatever was behind me had vanished, but I never turned around. I never looked. I opened the door to the basement/garage, went downstairs, punched in the garage code and got outside. Once outside, I ran across the street. I contemplated running all the way home, but I glanced over my shoulder to the house. It seemed fine, dark, quiet. I started sobbing as I called my friend. She didn't reply. I texted her, but still nothing. I stopped going to the house. I figured Boots would only be alone for 2 days at this point, and I left her plenty of dry food. I was too scared of what would happen next. I would just explain it all to my friend, and if she didn't understand, then tough luck. I knew my friend was to land on Sunday at 7 p.m, so I went to the airport and waited for her. "What are you doing here?" she said as soon as she walked through the arrival gates. "Well, I figured you'd need a drive home, plus I need to tell you something," I said, relaying the whole story and showing her the photos I'd taken, even the ones I'd sent her before. She listened quietly, and when I was done, she stopped dead in her tracks, looked me in the eyes and grabbed my hands. "Do you think I can stay with you tonight?" she asked softly. What? I asked, genuinely confused. "You don't want to see if your cat's okay?" "Andy, these pictures are undeniably from my house, but I don't have a cat," she said, showing me her phone. Our last conversation on her phone was her thanking me for coming to the party months ago.